Well, everyone, this is Mary Kurek with Frontrunners Innovate. I want to introduce to you Ambassador Gilbert Boye of Ghana. And the ambassador is gracious to give us a few minutes on this Saturday in late August or mid-August rather, to talk to us about the work that he's doing. And one of the areas that we want to hit is education. So Ghana Education Service is one of the places that he spends his energies. And I noticed also there was something with a creative project going on that you still are involved in, I believe. So I want to get with that and then talk about any other projects and things that you've got going on that touch the area of impact. So we want to know about what you're doing in the area of impact in Ghana and how we might be able to share that information with everybody so that they can get on board and help you move it to a higher place. So Ambassador, nice to meet you. And so thank you for spending this time with us this Saturday. So appreciate that. So I want to start with your background. So what brought you to the work that you're doing now, from growing up to now? What brought you here?
Okay, what brought me here? My background, as Gilbert Boye, I'm a fashion designer.
Oh, okay.
By profession, yeah, and a teacher, and a volunteer, humanitarian, advocate. And I like empowering young girls and then young ladies who want to learn skilled work. Basically, that is who am I. And my passion is I like to volunteer a lot. That is what I like doing. With my skills and my knowledge, I like to volunteer a lot. Yeah.
What brought you into fashion design? That's an interesting field.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Well, I had an injury in 2000, second week of February. So while on my injury bed, I decided I will be a fashion designer. I had to go to school to learn the basics and the foundation to become a fashion designer. So that is how I ended up being a fashion designer through an injury that I occurred in 2000, and then through recuperating, thinking what will be the next for me. Yeah.
That's amazing. I actually have a mentee in a young lady in Nigeria that does wonderful work in fashion. That's not her career path right now, but I've seen some of the work she's done. It's amazing. So this is good for me to know. Tell me about the education piece of you. You said that you're a teacher as well. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. The teacher is still in line with the fashion because through the fashion, that is how I got the appointment to become the teacher in the Ghana Education Service. So as of now, I'm a fully professional teacher who teaches subjects called management in living and then general knowledge with art. Mm-hmm. As a professional fashion, when you are being posted to your place to go and teach, you are not likely to get what you really want to teach, but they who are recruiting you will then give you the option to teach or the option to teach. So in a nutshell, I wanted to teach the fashion design, but I didn't get down on teaching the management in living, how the young girls will be able to get to understand how menstruation and then ovulation, that sort of thing. So now I'm a management in living and general knowledge teacher as a profession.
Wow. So you've combined your gifts with fashion design, with teaching, and put it together to be able to help young people. That's amazing. Yeah. That's wonderful. So talk to me a little bit about some of the other projects that you've been involved with that hit the impact space of whether that be youth development, education, or something else, some kind of sustainable development issues, because I know that you are tied to the United Nations in some way. So talk to us a little bit about that.
The project, as I initially said, I like volunteering a lot. So most of my work are volunteering aspects. It's in line with my work at the same time, social work that is not being related to fashion designing. I keep on, I go to places that children and then infants need help, do stuff and then training. So I only give out entrepreneurship training just to develop them, how to make them sustainable, empowered. Yeah. So basically, the fashion, that is what I normally use in volunteering, but I also advocate with environmental issues like plastic pollution and more sustainable awareness programs on online and social media.
Yeah.
That's basically.
So, a lot of talk in around the world, but particularly in the United States, about sustainable fashion. And so what I hear from a lot of people, that textile waste is really a big problem when you're talking about greening of the planet. So how do you view that? I mean, how do you, when you're teaching and when you're fashion designing yourself, how do you approach that?
Well, through the teaching, as far as I'm teaching now, I don't teach the fashion aspect, but with the education, the institution that I'm in, I'm able to help through volunteering and helping the students who are doing, like practical work. I volunteer to help them in probably helping them when they have fault machines. In Ghana here, we don't have most of the electric machines. We normally use the old type of machine that we use our hands to do the sewing. So when they face problem with their machine, I think them as a machinist, then I try to help them when the stitches are not interlocking well. I help in that way. At the same time, if you don't want to do any cutting aspect of the fabric or the pattern design, I also help them to understand it, how they will assemble their dresses.
Yeah.
So that is, and then I like doing crafts with my hands. So I normally, and then basically I assemble with the plastic, combine them to form a fabric type that you can cut and then combine them to form an article that can be used, like, plastic free July. You can use what we normally throw it out here to form an article, and then you sell it to people or you give it out for free.
Wow, that's great. So what do you see happening in the near future with what you're doing? Do you have any new plans, any new directions going on?
Yes, actually, I want to venture into recycling plastic, but for now, as a learner and a novice, I have started from somewhere to have partners or collaborate with those who are in lead in that field, and then learn from them. So that is where I've started gradually by learning how to, write proposals for plastics, and then learn how to, project development. So now my basic target is to learn how projects, if you want to make a project, how to develop it in a standard wise to catch the attention of the globalized people.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're full of different kinds of projects and ideas here. So now maybe I didn't catch it, but do you design outside of you have your own entrepreneurial endeavor, correct? You have your own design.
Do I design other products? Oh yeah, I have my own design of clothing, and then I remember in the COVID era, that is 10th, 13th March, I introduced a mask called J20 Face Mask to help my community and myself and my family. So it was a big project that I handled and then did. But if you don't know anything and you are learning it's kind of hanky panky. Yeah. So I for me, I know I made the impact. I know that I made an impact. People out there know that I made an impact of helping people to fight COVID-19. That is my biggest project that I did. That is the biggest project that I did. And it's out there. People patronize it. It's out there. Yeah.
So when you
all part of sustainable development, I use the plastics I initially said. I use some of the plastics to, and then handing me down clothes. I combine them clothes that are not in use. It's all part of the sustainability awareness. Clothes that are not in use. If you go to the second-hand clothing line. You buy them just to make the fast fashion fade away. Yeah.
So when we're talking about, you mentioned partners and whatnot, when we're moving forward with what you're wanting to do, and you're thinking maybe on a global scale, what types of people might you want to meet to help you move forward? What types of partners, what types of collaborators, what types of resources might you need?
The type of partners that I'll be happy if I can collaborate with them, those who are in the same line, like-minded people, entrepreneurs like me. So I'll be happy if I can get someone who can broaden or, open my insights more on sustainability of about plastic. Plastic is a menace now. It's something that is killing our land in Africa, and particularly in Ghana. Yeah. So if my major and then my small way of helping the community, if I can get someone who will be able to, direct me to that field, I'll be happy. And I'm hoping, as I said, I have, it's not partners, but I can say collaborators with the SDG Global Action Impact. I have a baseline for this that I did it there. I need to continue to see how my impact is working. They have a question that you answer there, then the feedback will let you know how far or how deep you are in the system.
Yeah. So I'm getting that what you're looking for is somebody that can direct you best on how to work a project in from the plastics standpoint that you say are killing your area. Are you thinking that's a waste problem? Is that a waste problem that needs to be addressed? A recycling problem that needs to be addressed?
It is both, because the plastic can be a waste. The plastic can be waste. So how would I be able to abolish the waste or curb the waste is by using it for another purpose or recycling. But now that I don't have any recycling plant or any recycling, the smallest way is make some articles that will be of good use to the community that I live in. Even if it's not for monetary purpose, I'll just give it out for people for free to use it, and then probably the feedback that they will bring it to me, then I will know that if I venture into this project, it will be prosperous for not for me myself, but the community and the country as a whole.
So finding a role model or somebody in another state or country that is doing something useful with the plastics, whether that's repurposing it or whatever they're doing, that might be something that you could deal with. There might be a doable, a doable project, and something that somebody that you would be able to talk to and glean information from. So hopefully, when we get this interview out, then hopefully somebody watching this will see that maybe they're the person that needs to talk to you. If not, then move this interview forward to somebody you think might be able to help Ambassador, and we'll definitely do the same thing on our end for that. So thank you for letting us know that, because I actually have a couple of ideas in my head right now. But you never know what's going to work culturally and environmentally and whatever in your area as opposed to somewhere else. But at least it's a jumping off point to start thinking creatively when you start hearing ideas about how other people are doing things. So we'll definitely see what we can do to help you there. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes and letting us know a little bit about what you're doing so that we have an opportunity to share that with everybody else and try to help move some things forward for you. So Ambassador, it was a pleasure. And if everybody is watching this on YouTube, go to www.frontrunnersinnovate.com, where you'll be able to see the interview there, and also some links that we'll get the Ambassador to provide to us, and maybe some pictures of some of his designs. That would be awesome. We'd love to have that. And get to know him a little bit better. And of course, we'll have his LinkedIn profile so that you can jump off and do the interview and go connect with him if you wish. So thank you, Ambassador. Stay on, if you will, with me for a couple of seconds more, and bye, everybody. Thank you. Visit us again.